quick point on that. If you're going to compare the Bengals to your marriage, do you think that your marriage is also doomed? And now I rest my case.
Welcome to the Commonwealth Comedy Club court. They said we couldn't put a fourth C in our name, but boy, did we. Oh, they said it couldn't be done. It is time for the people versus your Cincinnati Bengals. So, this is not our first court session here. We've been doing this for I don't know, probably half a year, maybe longer. And because of some unfortunate incidents in the past, I am now being forced to have a statement of bias as the judge. And I will let you know why. As it pleases the court, I, Judge David Stewart, submit my biases as a judge to the court before we get started. It is important I state these as I shall remain impartial. The incident in question as to why I'm doing this is because on March 1st of this past year, the trial of Aubrey Drake Graham was on trial, and I was accused of siding with the prosecution by being called as a witness in my own trial. And also wearing a Fuck Drake t-shirt. This resulted in a mistrial, and he remains free to be a culture vulture to this day. I was fined by the court and paid for it dearly by later being required to do stand-up in shorts in front of comedian Eddie Pepitone, where he congratulated the comedian next to me on doing a good job and walked past me without making eye contact. Outrageous. My next statement of bias, as it pertains to football, I am being required by the court to mention that in the fall of 2006, I played right tackle for Rapid Run Middle School for what has been described as the worst 3.5 weeks of football that year. Which is impressive given Michael Vick was under investigation in 2006. Finally, as it pertains to this case specifically, I am being forced by the court to admit that during the recent devastating loss to the Jets, I was wearing Bengals gear while secretly hoping the Jets would pull it off because I wanted people in this room. And controversy is good for business. I would like to defend myself by saying my loyalty to capitalism makes me a good red-blooded American, and this should probably be overlooked. Now, my next statement is from the Bengals organization at large. I did reach out to them, to which they responded, "Who are you? Get out of my car." I also reached out to Mike Brown, but was informed that he doesn't take calls or emails, but instead spends his time in a pool filled with gold, not unlike Scrooge McDuck, laughing at the fact that Paycor Stadium is publicly funded. All right, that brings us to our procedures. Which means you, the fine crowd in this audience, are the jury. Give it up for yourselves for being in the jury. You've answered your summons, and we're very grateful. With that being said, I now have to swear you in. So are you ready? Can we have right hands up, please? I, the Commonwealth Comedy Club Court, we'll work on that, hereby swear that I will abide by the laws of this abandoned church and will not think about the fact that this Miller Lite display is casually blocking a cross on this podium. Good. You guys are great. And then finally, I also swear to respect David, the judge, because he kind of needs a win right now. Bang, we did it. Good job, everybody. And now let's move on to the charges. The Bengals are hereby charged by the people of Cincinnati, Ohio, of being a doomed franchise. Do we understand these charges as they are written? And then do you, the jury, by the answer of yay or nay, understand these charges? I got ahead of myself. Yay or nay? Got it. And then with that, it is time to introduce our attorneys for the evening. On behalf of the people, the court recognizes Justin Bradley as lead attorney for the prosecution. Give it up for Justin, everybody. And in defense, on behalf of your Cincinnati Bengals, the court now recognizes Mark Chalifoux as defense attorney. All right, gentlemen, are you ready to be sworn in?
Let's do it.
Give me a few minutes here.
Okay.
Just like the Bengals, never ready.
Ooh.
Sorry.
Okay. Will both attorneys raise their right hands? Do you both agree, under the most basic understanding of rights AI could come up with, agree to the following? Opening statements, 3 witnesses to question, and then you close your arguments to the best of your ability. Does that sound like a plan?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Wonderful. Give it up for your attorneys, everybody. Now, let the record show that we are going to start opening statements. Now, I would like the prosecution to start with their opening statements for this evening. Justin, are you ready? It looks like you are now. Feel free to address the court.
Thank you, esteemed, honorable constable. I'm not sure
That
what the
will
title
help.
is, Mr. Stewart. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, it is my unfortunate duty tonight to bring to you the facts, the unfortunate truth, as it may be. That truth being that our beloved Cincinnati Bengals are, in fact, a doomed franchise. Do we even need to have, we've seen the season so far, right? What are we doing right now? This is the easiest job I've ever had. I don't know. I've only got 5 to 7 minutes. I could spend all of them on the first half of this season if I wanted to, I think. But we can go all the way back. We can go all the way back if you want to, ladies and gentlemen. The Bengals have been doomed from the beginning, okay? When Art Modell fired Paul Brown because he failed with the Cleveland Browns, you know what I do when I fail? I think I should just do that thing and be in charge of it all the time. That's what I do, and I start it all over. No, it doesn't work like that, guys, okay? Been failed from the start, okay? Been failed from the start. In fact, even the name Bengals reeks of impending doom. You don't have to fact check this, but in the Latin, Bengal comes from 2 Latin words, Benali and Galil. It means porous offensive line, okay? It's in the name. It's in the name. Listen, this just came out recently on episode number 674 of the Joe Rogan podcast. Ancient civilization expert Graham Hancock was speaking about a cave that they discovered just a few miles from here. Paintings on the cave, they discovered what could only be described as a hot dog covered with chili and cheese, an orange and black striped tiger, all covered in flames. Is it possible that our Neanderthal brethren knew what was only to be the inevitable truth, that our Cincinnati Bengals are in fact doomed? Guys, the evidence speaks for itself. It's not only the Cincinnati Bengals, and we could talk about Joe Burrow going down in his rookie season. We could talk about Joe Burrow going down right now. We could talk about Marvin Lewis, the winningest football coach to never win a playoff game. We could talk about, but the fact is, the doom of the Bengals goes beyond just their own team. Just ask Damar Hamlin of the Buffalo Bills. It's affecting other players. Guys, we have to address this. It wasn't the COVID vaccine that took him down in the middle of that game, guys. It was the doom of the Cincinnati Bengals. These are the facts, guys. I don't like having to bring this information to you, but I think it's all time that we start telling the truth about what's going on here, okay? Boy, I really had something good there to end on. I was hoping I'd find it. I'll be honest. I looked at my notes and I didn't find it, and I thought, I'll look away. It's been enough time. Maybe it's there. There's no way whatever my close was is going to be as good as all this lead up into it is going to be. But we'll give it a shot anyway. Listen, the Bengals are doomed, guys. The Bengals are doomed. The Bengals are just like the peace talk. They're just like the peace talks between Israel and Palestine. It doesn't matter how good it looks and feels from the outside. It's only a matter of time before somebody blows something up. Okay? Thank you.
Well done, counselor. Mr. Chalifoux, you now have the floor.
You know, I think it's interesting that my counterpart brings up Damar Hamlin, because that is a good example of what we're talking about here tonight. Damar Hamlin was a dead man when the Bengals staff got to him on the field, and they brought him back from the brink of death. Does that sound like a doomed franchise to any of you? Before we even go any farther down this path, let's just dial out a little bit, right? One thing that I want all of you to consider is that being a sports fan is literally the most embarrassing hobby that you can have. Some people would say Disney adult. Some people would say Disney adult is worse. But no Disney adult ever has to worry about leaving Disney and not having fun. That's a real concern for any sports fan. There's no guarantee of that. No Disney adult will ever have to suffer the indignity of showing up at Disney and watching Mickey Mouse get the crap kicked out of him by Goofy, and then you have to walk to your car as a bunch of people in Goofy t-shirts call you gay. That's never gonna happen. Right? Yes, Disney adults wear ears on their head, but sports fans have another man's name on their back. That's more embarrassing. I don't care who you are. That's just the facts of it. Like, sports fans can have 3 months of their entire year ruined by one man's toe ligament. So I want you to remember that. The second thing to remember is that for a lot of hardcore sports fans, that's all they have. That's their joy in life. They don't derive any satisfaction from their personal relationships, their jobs, their wives. No, they get their joy from Sundays, win or lose. And I think that's an important thing that we have to remember too about sports. You don't even have to be good. There is no team in the history of sports that has lost more games than the Washington Generals. Their games sell out constantly. Constantly. Another thing that we have to remember is that something that I wrote on this legal pad. Okay. All right, so listen. If you're looking at sports fans and how pathetic their lives can be sometimes, right? Like their personal relationships, their friends, their family, that's their fentanyl, right? The NFL, that's their Narcan. That's the only thing bringing them back, letting them see another day. So just remember, if you call the Bengals a doomed franchise, you're dooming all of these men and women at the same time. So I want you to remember that. The second thing you need to remember is that the Bengals don't even have to be good to not be a doomed franchise. They are 32 of 32 teams in the NFL in valuation. But they still are now $1 billion richer than they were last season. They didn't go to the playoffs last season. It was a lost year, and they still get richer because every single NFL franchise is worth more than almost any other professional sports franchise. So that's another important thing that you're going to have to remember tonight. Also, let's just talk about some of the facts. right? The Bengals are one of 5 teams that have won at least 5 playoff games in the last 5 years. I mean, does that sound like a doomed franchise to anybody here? Do the Cincinnati Bengals have the worst ownership group in the history of pro sports? Probably, yeah. Do they have the worst front office? I mean, you can look at the recent drafts and probably come to a yes on that. You mentioned the defense. We all saw the defense. Yeah, the front office absolutely blows, 100%. But the team has still been to a Super Bowl in the last 5 years. It doesn't matter how bad you are as an owner, as a front office, as a coach in Zach Taylor, this doomed franchise can still compete at the highest levels of the sport. Doesn't sound like a doomed franchise to me. Do I have anything big to close? Oh yeah, I do. Another thing I want you guys to remember, right? The NFL right now is the biggest thing going in professional sports. Highest ratings, biggest numbers across the board. The NFL right now is what baseball was to racist white people in the 1930s. It is the pinnacle of sports. It does not get better. It brings fathers and sons and neighbors together, and they grill out under an overpass and think that's a good time. That's magic right there. And not only that, but most importantly, if you're looking at this franchise and how much it means to people, you saw grown men change their appearance when Joe Burrow went with the bleach blonde haircut. Do you know what it takes to get a sports fan to do anything to improve his personal hygiene? I feel like I should rest with that.
The prosecution rests. Wow. Notes from the bench. Mark Chalifoux looks remarkably like Howard Hamlin from the hit television series Better Call Saul. Isn't that crazy? That's really all I got. Wow, what an argument. All right. Are we ready for our first witness of the evening? Yeah. This first witness is a bench witness. This is someone I called upon. This is neither a prosecution nor a defense witness. This is all me. Please give it up for the Bengals number fan.
Hello.
Now,
Offense, prosecution?
Yep.
I took offense to your name on the back of the jersey thing, by the way.
Don't give a shit.
Okay. All right, good. Then I'm going to correct you on a couple things that you said in your opening statement.
Don't care.
Now,
objection.
Your
Please
Honor,
shut this guy
Your
up.
Honor, may I correct the prosecution?
Objection,
Fan-
not his job.
correct. Sustained.
All right.
Mr. Bengal fan.
Yes.
I would just like to explain to the crowd, you are not the Bengals number 1 fan.
Correct.
You are not even the Bengals number 2 fan. You are, in fact, just a fan of Bengals numbers.
This is correct.
Yeah. So for the court to understand your role in this, I would like to suggest that we do a little exercise. Are you ready?
Correct. Yes.
In 1991, who was the starting wide receiver for the Cincinnati Bengals?
Was it Pickens?
Probably. I wouldn't know. Now you understand his role here. He is a fan of the numbers. More than I ever could be, to be honest. Now, sir, I hear you wanted to address the prosecution. Please.
Correct. A couple things about the opening statement from the prosecution. One, the 5 playoff wins from the Bengals in the last 5 years all happened in a 2-year span, and I believe it's the only time the Bengals have made the playoffs in that span. Would I be correct?
I mean, does that change the fact? You said you were going to have some corrections.
I do have a correction.
All 5 of those came within that 5-year window that I stated? Okay, cool. Thank you.
Well, I will
So much for being the numbers guy up here.
I will correct him on the fact that the guy who saved Damar Hamlin's life was not a Bengals staff member. It was actually a trainer for the Buffalo Bills who got a 5th place MVP vote from an MVP voter the year he saved his life. So I thought that was a really kind gesture. But 5th place? It's like 5th place. It's like, oh, I know you saved a life, but the 4 things that guy did, oh, those were awesome. So that's all I got for that one. But
you're making a room full of Cincinnati Bengals people hate T. Higgins right now.
He had a 44-yard touchdown on Sunday. Numbers guy. He had a 44-yard touchdown on Sunday.
Yeah, I know. T does his job. I'm saying you're embarrassing him with the jersey.
Correct. I did either 0 preparation or 25 years worth, depending on how you look at it. So, prosecution.
Okay.
All right.
So I think we all understand why I brought this man to the stand, right? We get it.
Yes.
Now, I believe the first person to give you any questioning will be the prosecution, Mr. Justin Bradley.
Also, who should I face? I'm just facing the crowd.
Face
yes.
the crowd.
All right, cool.
I do think it's important for Alex to know that I am the prosecuting attorney in these proceedings. And you and Mark are on the same team, sir. So,
Also, I would like to say that attorneys, feel free to treat this witness as hostile. I think it'll be funny.
he's doing a great job for me, actually. Alex,
Yes.
how much do the Cincinnati Bengals mean to you?
I have been a fan since I was a child, and probably over 20 years, and it's my Sundays from September to when the season ends, which is never in a Super Bowl victory. So they're my favorite professional sports team. So a lot.
What would a verdict of doomed mean for you this evening?
Honestly, nothing, because no matter what happens tonight, whether the prosecution or the defense wins, I got it right that time, I'm still going to be a fan of this team. I'm still going to go to the games. I'm still going to get blackout drunk before the game, not during. It's too expensive. And it's going to change absolutely nothing, but I'll feel a little bit sadder.
No further questions.
Wow. Wonderful. The prosecution rests. Now, Mr. Chalifoux, the defense, it is your witness.
Alex, thank you for being here today and sharing some stuff with our court. My first question for you, do you have a girlfriend? Remember, you're under oath.
Next question, please.
How many romantic partners have you had in the last 5 years? Ballpark.
Your Honor, can we recess, please?
I will not allow that.
How about a ballpark figure? 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to we'll all laugh.
I plead the fifth.
So let's all assume it's a pretty embarrassingly low number. How many Bengals games have you been to in the last 5 years?
Yes.
Do you have season tickets?
I do.
Do you go to most games?
Yes.
So you've spent more money on the Cincinnati Bengals than you have your romantic life.
That would be correct.
Do you have a gym membership?
Yes, I do.
How much does that cost you per month?
About $25 a month.
And how much do your season tickets cost you per year?
I haven't checked this year's, but last year's cost me $13.50.
Okay, as a numbers guy, is it more expensive for you to be a Bengals season ticket holder or to go to your gym?
This guy's good. One more time?
Is it more expensive to belong to your gym or to go to Paycor Stadium 8 times a year?
It is more expensive to go to Paycor Stadium.
So you're prioritizing the team over your own personal health. That's important for you guys to remember. How many friends do you see in a week?
Objection, Your Honor. He's asking way better questions than I did, and I don't like that at all.
I will give you a chance to rebuttal if you come up with something.
Now you're just putting that pressure on him to come up with something. Let me ask you this. Do you have a fantasy football team?
I have 9.
Oh, wow.
I have
think
9 because doctors tell me I have this thing that's called a problem now.
Well, listen, I feel like a lot of us would rather this trial just be about you from here on out. But about how much do you pay for those leagues? If you had to combine all 9. I'm sure some are probably free. Some are...
I did just realize that I pay more for fantasy football entry fees than I do my gym membership in a given year.
That's a lot of money. Can I ask you this? Do you pay for pornography?
No, I have a friend who gives me access to his account.
You guys have heard it first. His biggest fantasy is football. Not erotica, not anything else. It's football, number 1. So I mean, I think it's pretty clear how much this means to you, right?
Correct.
Do you think there is any chance the Cincinnati Bengals can beat the Chicago Bears this weekend?
Well, I do know that Odunze, a lot of their top receivers are hurt. I think Odunze is hurt. DJ Moore might be hurt. Luther Bird might be hurt. So if a lot of their players are hurt, I do think it's possible. But I'm not going to be optimistic about the Bengals right now.
Not optimistic, but possible. That's what I want you to take away from this. How much it means to him, and the fact that he can still talk himself into the possibility of a Bengals win, even after that gut-wrenching loss to the Jets. That is the power that an NFL franchise has over hopeless people like this. It's all they have. It's everything. And you know what? They're still going to show up and support the team even after weeks like last week. And to me, that just does not seem like something that would happen for a doomed franchise.
Your Honor, I'm getting a little hot in here. Do you mind if I take my jersey off?
Why not?
I have something. All right, thank you so much.
Sounds like a good...
So, prosecution, please ask your questions, please.
Actually,
During
prosecution, I would also like to offer you a layup. I know for a fact that Alex Schubert is actually one of the more popular contributors to the Who Dey Nation Facebook group.
That is not a credit.
It got you this booking. So if you please feel free
Alex,
to use that.
Tell us what the Who Dey Nation Facebook group is.
It is it's a group of about 130 to 40,000 people, most of which are from Amelia, Ohio. And they all discuss, things like how football players are overpaid sissies who just want to wear big flashy outfits, and they'll have CTE 2 years into their career like the old days. It's basically just a bunch of ranting.
Okay. How much do you? How often? What percentage of your Facebook time during the season, especially, is spent on the Who Dey Nation?
Probably most of it.
Okay. Let me ask you this. We talked about fantasy football. Do you do any sports betting on football?
Yes.
Now, as big as a fan of you as you are of the Bengals, do you ever bet against the Bengals?
I have.
Okay. Prosecution rests.
I would also like to state for the record there was a very meager boo.
I'd also like to file an objection here. Why are you on Facebook? You're not 50. Get on some real social media.
I'm on all of them.
Oh, that's not encouraging either. That might have been a more depressing answer.
Let the record show Alex Schubert is in fact on Truth Social. He said it himself.
Thank you.
You should check out their Who Dey Nation page. It's wild.
And that does it for our first witness of the evening, Alex Schubert. Give it up for him, everybody.
What did his shirt say? We lost to the Jets? See, you took it off so dramatically. I thought it was going to be something funny, and nobody laughed at it. I was preparing myself for him to get some big laugh out of that. He did arts and crafts for this, and you gave him nothing. Nothing.
$15 a target for this.
That's a real fan.
All right, are we ready for our next witness, everybody? It is none other than Joe Burrow. Now, given that Justin went first last time, this is your witness, Mark. Go ahead.
Thank you for being here, Joe. I would first like to note to the court here that you walked up to this stage with no limp, and I think that's cool as hell. Just want that entered into the record.
Thank you.
So, Joe, this question is just one I've always wanted to ask you. It literally has nothing to do with my case. Are you gay?
I've been accused of having no personality, so I've thought about it. But no, I have a girlfriend, I have a wife. Somewhere in between.
How did you feel when this doomed franchise made you the highest paid player in football?
I think it's bullshit, you know? If that was true, I wouldn't have bought everyone samurai swords, so.
I would like to enter that in the court record, too, that Joe did buy his offensive line samurai swords as a Christmas gift, and that is also cool as hell. You had one good season in college, and some people thought that you were going to be a bust. Now you're widely considered the top quarterback in the NFL. There was a poll done of NFL head coaches, assistant coaches, general managers, and scouts. They ranked you as the number one quarterback, tied with Patrick Mahomes, a sizable gap between the next closest quarterbacks, Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson. Given that you've developed into one of the very best to play this game, would you say that that sounds like a doomed franchise?
No, not at all.
You played so good that your first offensive coordinator got a head coaching job in Tennessee. Then without you there, he lost that job in less than 2 seasons. Does he sound like the one that's doomed, or do you think it's the franchise that he left that's doomed?
No, that guy's an idiot.
Your new offensive coordinator ran the offense last season. It was his first time as an offensive coordinator. It was one of the best offenses in the entire NFL. How would you explain that in his first year as a coordinator?
We're just good. We really are. I mean, we give it 100% every time.
You're one of the biggest stars in the league. You're a fashion icon. You're going to all these celebrity parties. Is that something that you would characterize as consistent with a doomed franchise?
No, not at all.
Let me ask you this, Joe. They gave you your college wide receiver on the team when they drafted Jamar Chase. This offseason, you made several demands about what you wanted to have happen. You wanted Jamar Chase signed. They gave him the richest contract to any non-quarterback. You wanted T. Higgins signed. They signed T. Higgins. You wanted Mike Gesicki signed. That sort of confused us all a little bit that you were that adamant. But they signed him. You said Trey Hendrickson was a need, even though he's 30 and he's getting up there. They signed him. They gave you every single thing that you wanted with this team. Does that sound like a doomed franchise?
That sounds like a winning team, sir.
I rest my case.
Mr. Bradley, it is now your witness.
Mr. Burrow, when you were lost in New York as a small child, was that scary?
It was a little scary, but I keep my cool.
Understandable. So. And then you bounced back. You went 15-0 at LSU, won the Heisman Trophy, won the NCAA championship, and what is argued to be one of the most dominant college football teams and showings ever. So it's clear, Joe, that you know how to win. As my colleague pointed out, you have the exact offense you need. You've said we need this piece, that piece. They've given it to you. They've paid all of the money. You guys hit all of the numbers. Everything looks good on paper. And I guess the real question on everybody's mind is, why can't you guys win?
Objection. They went to the Super Bowl.
I'm sorry, went to the Super Bowl, or are we looking to win the Super Bowl? That is two very different things.
Overruled. Burn.
So with all the pieces around that you want, Joe, I'm trying to figure out what other explanation could we give other than the Bengals are a doomed franchise.
Here's my answer. We're gonna win.
One very tepid yes.
Let the record show Alex Schubert really changed his voice up for that one.
One final question, Joe. When you tore your ACL in your first season with the Bengals, did you really not have any thought run through your mind that you should have never came to the Bengals?
No, not at all. Not a single thought. There's just actually no thoughts.
On that, we agree, and the prosecution rests.
Wonderful. Give it up for Joe Burrow, everybody. And we have made it to our final witness of the evening. It is none other than former Bengals head coach, Marvin Lewis, everybody.
Your Honor, if it pleases the court, before we begin, I'd like to state the fact that you all need to be more clear with your communications, because I honestly thought you were here to hire me back. Sure, I thought it was a little weird that the interview was at 8 p.m. in an abandoned church, but I saw the struggles, and so I came dressed for the job. So this is not a job interview. Is that what you're telling me?
That is correct, sir.
Motherfucker. All right, let's go.
All right. Justin, this is your witness.
Coach Lewis, great to meet you. Thanks for being here tonight. I do apologize for the confusion. If you are looking to get back in the coaching game, my son's 5th grade football team will be in the market for a new coach next year.
What's the receiving corps look like?
They have a lot of promise. They're a little undersized, but they're quick and speedy on their feet, okay?
Okay.
And my son
work
just,
with that.
yeah, so I will need you to start my son. We'll talk about it later. It's fine. Marvin, let's see here. Just a few of your numbers. You know them, but I'm going to read them out for the crowd here. You hold the franchise record for career wins, 131. You have 7 playoff appearances, 5 consecutive, 4 division titles, and 0 playoff wins. A rather dubious record. I'm sure that stings. I'm sorry. I hope that I don't bring these stats up to bring you any pain. Again, we see the numbers on the paper. We see the wins and the losses. We see the great winning season, the titles, and still the 0 wins. I have a hard time coming up with any explanation other than this has to be a doomed franchise. Marvin, can you bring any other explanation than that?
Well, I mean, like you said, I am the winningest coach in Bengals franchise history, and they waited until after I left to get Jamar Chase and all the other players. So I feel that if you go ahead and replace Zach Taylor with me, I can take this new core and get us the wins that we need.
Yeah, here. Coach.
I'm trying to get back, y'all. Come on.
Marvin. No, okay. I'm on your side, sir. Walk us through what thoughts ran through your mind in 2005 when Carson Palmer went down with a knee injury in the second play of the Steelers playoff game.
Well, I have to admit, the one thought that ran through my mind was, he's not going to act like a bitch after this. And boy, was I wrong. That's how you know the true Bengals fans are. They got that one.
Were there any indicators that something was going on with Palmer's knee leading up to that point? Had he shown any other weakness, any other sign of injury, any other favoritism on the knee or anything else?
I mean, not that I could tell at that time. He seemed to be pretty healthy, pretty strong, and then all of a sudden he lost his backbone, and there it went.
So just out of nowhere, a freak incident destroys yet another Bengals playoff run.
I mean, it is football. You're going to get injuries sometimes. I mean, look at Damar Hamlin. It was an injury.
Objection. I feel like we're killing Damar Hamlin again tonight. Why are we all attacking Damar?
We're not beating a dead receiver. We're just talking about a man.
Also,
I got my groan for the evening. I love it.
Just for the record, on the 687th episode of the Joe Rogan podcast, he offered some pretty compelling evidence that Damar Hamlin actually did die that night, and there's been a clone ever since then. So you guys should check it out. It's pretty fascinating stuff. Marvin, I appreciate your time. Thanks for being here tonight, and best of luck on the job search, sir.
Thank you. Do you happen to know anybody in the Bengals front office?
Just this guy right here, the judge, David Stewart.
I said somebody in the Bengals front office, not somebody who snuck in the Bengals front office.
Oh, yeah, no, you're right. No.
Okay. I just asked. Yeah.
Please, go ahead and start.
Marvin, thank you for being here. My first question, how long have you been black?
I'd say it started somewhere around conception.
Okay, interesting. Now, how many other NFL teams offered you a head coaching position?
The Bengals and, yeah.
Exactly the point that I'm trying to make here. Do you think that it sounds like a doomed franchise that was one of the least racist franchises that offered you that head coaching job when 13 other NFL teams have never had an African-American head coach? Does that sound like a doomed franchise?
That does not sound like a doomed franchise. Also, if they hired me again now, it would be a middle finger to the administration. So therefore...
A quick follow-up on that point, Marvin. Would you ever consider coming back to lead this defense?
Yeah, actually. Do you know somebody in the front office?
We'll make some calls after this. Quick question here. How much money did you make during your time as the Bengals head coach?
I made a pretty sizable amount, but...
If we need to, we can get the numbers guy back up here. He could probably reel that off.
Well, I will tell you I've been black long enough to know that black folks don't discuss their salary, so therefore, I made enough.
Enough. And I'll enter it into the court record. It was more than $50 million over your time as the head coach of the Cincinnati Bengals. Does that sound like a doomed franchise?
Not at all.
Let me ask you this. You built the Super Bowl winning defense for the Baltimore Ravens.
Yes, I did.
The Baltimore Ravens have since gone through several head coaching changes. They've never offered you that position. They've never had an African-American head coach. Do you think that Cincinnati sounds like a more doomed franchise than that one?
I mean, if we're talking about the history books, not at all.
Last question. You wanted Jamar Chase on your team. He was in high school by the time you left here. Do you really think the team would have been that aided that much by high schoolers?
I'd rather have him than some guy changing his fucking last name to a Spanish number.
No further questions.
Wait, what is this?
Zach Taylor.
Oh my gosh. Zach Taylor's here to defend his honor, everybody. Give it up for Zach Taylor!
Thank you. Thank you. And thank you for letting me call a timeout. I kind of do that whenever I feel like it. That's my thing.
You don't call more timeouts on the first half of football than I do.
All right, listen up. This is what I'm going to say. Number one, I trust the boys in the locker room. Number two, a lot of things have been said about me up here tonight. A lot of people have said a lot of things on the internet. A lot of people are saying things like, I don't know how to call a play. A lot of people are saying things like, I don't know what a play is. A lot of people are saying that I don't even know who the best players on my team are. Some people are saying I've never made love to my wife. And all of those things might be true. But nobody's talking about how nice of a guy I am. I'm a pretty nice guy. I bump into a guy, I say things like, oopsie daisy. I'm a pretty nice guy. Anything else?
Are you a nice enough guy to talk to somebody in the front office for me?
I trust the boys in the locker room. And I trust the guys in the front office. I trust the guys that line the fields. And, I trust a lot of people.
So I can trust that you'll
before
call.
you leave, Zach, why the fuck did you run the ball on 2nd and 10 with 50 seconds left in the game?
I was looking at my plays that I got. I actually brought that play here tonight, and that was number 4, Dirty Shirley. And you know what? It's worked in the past, and I thought it would work again.
Let the record reflect that is in fact a menu from the Comedy Club. Not dissimilar from the Cheesecake Factory menu Zach Taylor uses every Sunday.
Everybody knows you passed on that play, you fucking idiot. If you had me, we would have passed.
I will not let you insult the Cheesecake Factory. I would like to say that I trust the boys in the Cheesecake Factory kitchen.
Zach, while you have that menu out, would you mind ordering me one of those ham pretzel sandwiches from the back when you go back? I appreciate it.
No problem.
Thanks.
Give it up for Zach Taylor, everybody. And counsel, if there is no further question, I will let this witness go. No further question. Have a good time, Marvin Lewis. Good luck on your job hunt.
Before I go, I'd like to ask you all to start a letter writing campaign to help me get back to the Bengals. Who they? That's what I'm talking about.
Marvin Lewis, everybody. Well, jury, we've heard the opening statements, we've heard them question our witnesses, and now it is time to hear closing statements. So Mark Chalifoux, you have the floor for the first closing statement.
Yeah, the one thing I want you to all consider, I know we've talked about this during my opening statements, and we've hit on it with every single witness, just remembering how insane sports fans can be about their NFL teams, right? For example, I knew a sports fan who was a fan of the Baltimore Ravens, and he was such a fervent fan that he would even try to defend Ray Rice after he had his whole incident. If you're a younger person, he punched his wife in the face. There was video evidence of this happening. And my friend, he said, yeah, there's video of it, but we don't have the audio from that video. That's how insane sports fans are. Like, what do you think that she said to him? Like, hey, Ray, I bet you can't knock me out in one punch? Probably not that. But that's how crazy sports fans are. They'll go to those dark places. And while the Bengals have their fair share of fans that might be crazy, none of them are that crazy. Yet nobody is putting the Baltimore Ravens on trial as a doomed franchise. We can look at some of the numbers that we've talked about. They've won the AFC North twice in the last 5 years. Is that a doomed franchise? We're acting like we're the Cleveland Browns up here. There's no sexual offender that's playing quarterback for us that we're holding on to until the end of time, even though he's bad at football and a bad human. That's a doomed franchise, if there is one.
Alleged sex offender. No?
I like that we got an objection from the jury.
Withdrawn.
I think it's also important to remember just how important NFL franchises are to their fans. We saw it with that dork that was up here earlier. We've seen it. I'm right there with him. I also think that the Bengals can win against the Bears, even though they had that gut-wrenching loss, and even though their first-round draft pick has been an absolute no-show this season. But you know what? It does bring people together, and they still come back the next week. Look at cities that have lost their NFL franchises. St. Louis was a city not that dissimilar from Cincinnati, a cute little river town. Once they lost the Rams, their city went to shit. Their crime rate has increased 18%. Their jobless rate has increased 24%. And the attractiveness of their women has declined by 72%. That's just facts I got from ChatGPT, so consider that. Consider this. The Cincinnati Bengals do have the worst ownership group in the entire NFL. They have the most inept front office in the entire NFL. Everybody wants to call them cheap. They're not cheap. They're just bad at their jobs. Even when you're that bad at your job, this team can still have the number one quarterback in the entire NFL. They can have the very best receiver in the entire NFL. Jamar Chase might be one of the greatest to ever play that position. So even when everything else is going wrong, you can still have two of the most exciting players in the sport and get the opportunity to watch them every single Sunday, which is something that fans in many other professional sports cities would kill for, including probably another 15 to 20 NFL franchises. The most important thing to remember, if this franchise is not a doomed franchise, because we still have the Bengals and we still have Joe Burrow, there's always next year.
The defense rests the prosecution. You now have the floor.
All right, guys. Doomed by definition means destined to fail. On trial here tonight, our responsibility is not to decide whether or not we love the Bengals, whether or not they are a good football team, whether or not they are a winning football team, whether or not they are a profitable football team. We are here to discuss whether or not they are a doomed football team. As the defense pointed out, they have the number one quarterback and arguably one of the greatest wide receivers, if not the greatest wide receiver in history, and yet cannot bring home a trophy. And here's the thing, that's okay. Nobody's suggesting we get rid of the Bengals or stop cheering for them. In fact, I think the sooner we can all just admit the truth that stands before us, the nicer we can all be, the more enjoyable our seasons will be. This is the appropriate place to quote this guy, Jesus. He said, you will know the truth, and the truth will make you free. Gloria Steinem added to that. She said, the truth will make you free, but first it will piss you off. These facts and truths may piss you off, but I hope that it makes us all free to lower our expectations and just enjoy the product that we have on the field.
Hey, Justin, quick objection here. What, Jesus' quote, what episode of the Joe Rogan podcast was that?
It's a great question. Episode 483, him and Bible scholar Wesley Huff discussed this in depth. The sooner we can all agree and the sooner that we can all just accept the fact that the Bengals are in fact a doomed franchise and they probably will never win a Super Bowl because in spite of having all of the pieces and the numbers in place to make it happen, every single year it is heartbreak after heartbreak, unexplainable, inexplicable injury or circumstance after another, that the only explanation can be that they must be doomed. And guys, I'm telling you, the key to happiness, the key to enjoying life is low expectations, okay? When my wife figured that out, our marriage got a lot better, okay? And so I'm calling upon you, the good people of Cincinnati and the good jurors in this room, to understand and to finally admit and set this entire city free by voting in the affirmative that just like the ancient freehold of Valyria,
This is incredibly topical for me. I'm rewatching Game of Thrones
Game of
right
Thrones
now.
guys
Yeah,
out there. I wasn't sure how many that would hit.
Got me.
Just like the ancient freehold of Valyria.
Quick point on that. If you're going to compare the Bengals to your marriage, do you think that your marriage is also doomed? And now I rest my case.
Objection, Your Honor. I don't have a response to that question.
It must be so tough to hear all these people laugh at your doomed marriage.
It is,
That's so crazy.
I'll be honest, I never thought of that before until this moment. Now I'm rethinking everything. Thank you, Mark, for that. Is there a pastor in this church that I could talk to after this?
Wait,
that's me. Okay, dang it. Shoot, okay.
If your marriage does go south, I think Marvin Lewis is still in the building and he's looking for something to do.
He's looking for a job. He did say he wanted to be a head coach, right? Okay.
Point, counselor.
All right, I rest my case.
Wow, give it up. Wow, that is fantastic. Now, before you, the jury, takes time to deliberate, I am going to open the floor if anyone has a question for counselors for clarification purposes before you deliberate with your neighbors around you. Does anyone have one of those? Who's brave? Who's feeling brave? Literally no one. Oh, please, this front row.
I'd just like to say as a Jets fan that the role of the new franchise has already been taken.
Counselor?
Yeah, I think I agree pretty strongly with that. I think that if there is any single franchise that's doomed, it's probably the New York Jets. So thank you for that contribution.
Yes, sir, in the hat.
Why is the defense wearing Jets colors?
Ooh.
Why is the defense wearing Jets colors? Who gives a shit? The Jets suck. They lost one game to the Jets. That doesn't make them a doomed franchise. I'm still not afraid of the Jets.
Your Honor, may I interject for one more question?
Oh, please do.
Only if
Alex.
it's funny.
Please.
There's a microphone if you'd like it.
So you claim the Bengals are not a doomed franchise?
Yes.
All right, so...
I've already won the case, but sure, go ahead.
Okay. So he brought up Carson Palmer hurting his knee on the 66-yard pass on the second play of the game, right? In the playoff game?
He did. I don't know. I wasn't paying attention all that much.
As the numbers guy who did absolutely no research but is 100% positive, who caught that pass?
Chris Henry.
I rest my case.
He's dead.
He's dead.
Not a single laugh. He came all the way back up here thinking he was going to finally win over the crowd. And they all said, no, we still hate the numbers guy. That is fantastic. He didn't even have to pull out another shirt for that or have Chris Henry written on his sweatpants under his jeans.
Imagine the Chris Henry in chest hair. God, the missed opportunities.
Catch a pass for the Bengals. You might die. That's great advertising for the trade deadline coming up.
No, you guys are right. Chris Henry is the only person to have died since 2005. That's no one else has died since then.
There is an interesting episode of the Joe Rogan podcast. Okay.
Objection from my dad? Shut out. All right. Well, if there are no more questions from our fine jury, I think now is the time to deliberate with you and your neighbors around you, and then we will get to our final vote. Let's hear it, folks. Start the music. That guitar lick is so good. Do we, the jury, feel like we have deliberated long enough? All right, so in the case of the Bengals versus the people, the charges are as read. They are a doomed franchise. Do we believe beyond a reasonable doubt by yay or nay, we'll start with the yays, do we believe the Bengals are a doomed franchise? Let's hear the yays. Yay. Interesting. Now, do we believe the Bengals are a doomed franchise by the nays? Let me hear the nays. Nay. The nays have it. Congratulations to Mark Chalifoux. A well-fought battle.
The Who Days have it.
Wow. Thank you, everybody, so much for coming out to the show. We get to do these fun shows at Commonwealth Comedy Club because they let us do it because people like you come out. So please, give it up for yourselves for coming out tonight. Thank you so much.
And while you're all here, please remember to come back here on January 3rd when I'm headlining Commonwealth Comedy Club.
Yeah.
Put that on your calendars.
But that does it for our show. Thank you so much. I've been David Stewart. Give it up for Justin Bradley and Mark Chalifoux and Alex Schubert, the number guy. Christian Grant as Joe Burrow and Phil Pointer as Marvin Lewis. Thank you so much. Get home safe. And Cody Walker as Zach Taylor.